Shalom, my dear friends. Come closer. Listen carefully, because what I am about to share with you today is not just another talk about money. I have seen too many good souls, talented, hardworking, even spiritual people, remain trapped in cycles of struggle and scarcity. Year after year, they wonder why prosperity always seems to pass them by. Today, I stand before you as a rabbi who has studied the ancient teachings, the hidden Torah secrets of abundance, and the harsh truths that the wise ones before us understood. And I bring you this solemn warning: never give these three things away. Because if you do, my friends, if you foolishly hand them over without wisdom, without boundaries, without divine strategy, then hear me clearly. You will stay poor forever, not just lacking money, but poor in time, poor in energy, poor in spirit, and poor in the blessings that the Almighty wants to pour into your life. This is not fear-mongering. This is ancient truth. This is the line between those who build generational wealth and those who keep wondering why it's always not their season. So open your hearts, open your ears, because in the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the three sacred things you must guard with your life if you ever want to break free from poverty and step into true abundance. Are you ready? Then let us begin. Never give away your time. My friends, listen with the ears of your soul, because this is the first sacred warning that has kept many souls chained to poverty while others rise into abundance. Time is not just minutes ticking on a clock. It is the very breath the Almighty has breathed into your days on this earth. Every single hour is a divine deposit, a limited treasure that once spent can never be refunded or reclaimed. Think about it deeply. The rich understand this truth in their bones. They guard their hours like a priceless jewel hidden in the sanctuary. They do not scatter them to every request, every distraction, every person who knocks with empty hands and sweet words. No, they ask themselves with wisdom: will this investment of my time multiply my blessings or drain them into the desert sand? I have watched too many good people, hardworking souls with pure hearts, slowly sink into struggle because they treated time as if it were endless water from a well. They say yes to every favor. They linger in endless conversations that lead nowhere. They scroll through endless noise on their phones, giving away precious moments to strangers who will never remember their name. And what happens? The days turn into weeks, the weeks into years, and suddenly they look up and wonder why opportunities have passed them by, why money flows to others but never seems to rest in their own hands. Time is your most irreplaceable currency. Money can be earned again. Knowledge can be regained through study. But time? Once you hand it over foolishly, it is gone forever. The Talmud teaches us that our days are numbered, that life is like a vapor, here for a moment and then vanishing. The wise protect it fiercely. They set boundaries with love but with strength. They say no to things that do not serve their higher purpose. They refuse to let toxic people or meaningless tasks steal the hours meant for building, for creating, for connecting with the source of all abundance. Imagine a farmer who has only one field. If he allows every neighbor to graze their animals there without charge, soon the soil becomes barren, the harvest fails, and his family goes hungry. Your time is that sacred field. Every minute you give away without return or purpose is like letting cattle trample your future. The people who stay poor forever are those who become servants to everyone else's agenda. They become the free helper, the always available listener, the one who fills everyone's gaps but leaves their own dreams starving. The wealthy, the truly abundant, treat time as their greatest partner in creation. They wake with intention. They schedule their days with holy discipline. They understand that every hour invested in learning a skill, building a business, deepening their relationship with God, or resting to renew their spirit compounds like interest in the bank of heaven. But when you give your time away carelessly, you are essentially telling the universe that your life has no value, that your dreams are not worth protecting. And the universe, my friends, has a way of agreeing with the message you send. How many nights have you lain awake regretting the hours wasted on arguments that solved nothing, on entertainment that left you emptier, on helping others who only came back for more without ever lifting you up? That regret is the quiet voice of wisdom trying to wake you. Time wasted is opportunity murdered. It is potential buried before it could bloom. The person who learns to say, "This hour belongs to my purpose," begins to see doors open that remained locked for years. Your time is connected to your destiny. The Almighty gave you these exact days in this exact season for a reason. When you guard it, you align with divine flow. Prosperity begins to chase you because you are no longer leaking the fuel needed to drive toward it. Every successful soul I have counseled has one thing in common. They became ruthless protectors of their time, not selfish, but strategic, not cold, but clear. They understood that saying no to small things allows them to say yes to the great blessings waiting ahead. The poor in spirit and pocket are those who let time slip through open fingers like fine sand. They complain about lack while freely donating the only resource that could have changed everything. Guard your time as you would guard the Torah scroll itself, with reverence, with boundaries, with prayerful discernment. Ask before every commitment. Does this honor the life I was created to live? Does this bring me closer to the abundance the Creator desires for me? When you start valuing your time, others will begin to value it too. When you stop giving it away for nothing, the world stops expecting it for free. Your days gain weight. Your efforts gain power. The cycle of scarcity begins to break because you are no longer pouring your finite life into bottomless pits. This is the first key. Hold it close. Live it fiercely. Your future wealth, your peace, your legacy all depend on how you answer this call. Never give away your time. It is the foundation upon which every other blessing is built. Protect it and watch how the heavens respond with open hands. Never give away your energy. Your life force is the sacred fuel that the Creator has placed within you, a divine spark that powers every dream, every action, and every step toward abundance. It is not endless. It is precious, limited, and meant to be directed with wisdom and reverence. When you scatter it carelessly, when you pour it into toxic people, endless drama, unworthy battles, or soul-draining activities, you are literally handing over the very power that could have lifted you out of poverty and into prosperity. Energy is the hidden currency behind all wealth. The rich do not waste it on negativity or on carrying the emotional burdens of those who refuse to grow. They protect their inner fire like a holy flame in the temple. They know that every argument that goes nowhere, every complaint session you sit through, every hour spent worrying about things you cannot control drains the reservoir from which miracles are born. I have seen kind-hearted souls become exhausted shadows of themselves because they allowed vampires, people who only take and never give, to feed on their vitality day after day. They listen for hours to problems. They absorb anger. They try to fix what others will not fix themselves. And in the end, they have nothing left for their own vision, their own family, or their own path to freedom. Think of your energy as the oil in a lamp. If you keep pouring it out for every flickering wick around you, your own light will eventually go dark. The person who stays poor forever is often the one who becomes everyone's emotional support, everyone's free counselor, everyone's rescuer, while their own dreams slowly starve in the corner. They wake up tired, move through the day heavy, and fall asleep with their spirit depleted. How can abundance flow to a vessel that is constantly leaking? It cannot. The laws of the universe are clear. What you waste, you lose. What you guard multiplies. The wise ones understand that energy must be conserved for what truly matters: building, creating, learning, praying, and taking inspired action. They set strong boundaries with love and firmness. They walk away from gossip circles. They limit time with those who spread darkness and despair. They refuse to engage in petty conflicts or endless debates that produce only heat and no light. Instead, they direct their sacred force toward goals that align with their soul's purpose. They rest when needed. They nourish their body and spirit. They surround themselves with people who uplift and inspire rather than drain and diminish. Every time you say yes to something that pulls you down, you are saying no to the wealth that could have come through focused, high-vibration energy. The exhausted mind cannot spot opportunities. The depleted heart cannot believe in big visions. The tired spirit cannot persist through the challenges that test true abundance. This is why so many talented people remain stuck. They have given their energy away so freely that nothing remains to fuel their own elevation. Guard your energy as you would guard a treasure chest of gold. Do not let it be spent on drama that does not belong to you. Do not lend it to causes that leave you emptier. Do not waste it in environments that suck the joy and creativity out of you. Choose your battles. Choose your company. Choose where your life force flows. When you become disciplined with your energy, you will feel lighter, sharper, and more magnetic. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open because you now have the power to walk through them with strength and clarity. Your energy is connected directly to your capacity to receive blessings. The Almighty responds to a vibrant, directed life force. When you stop leaking it in every direction, you create space for divine provision to enter. The cycle of tiredness and lack begins to break. You move from surviving to thriving, from reacting to creating. This truth has transformed countless lives. Protect your energy fiercely and watch how prosperity starts chasing after you instead of running away. Never give away your energy. It is the holy fuel of your destiny. Never give away your knowledge. The wisdom, skills, and insights you have worked hard to gain are among the most sacred assets the Creator has entrusted to you. They are not ordinary possessions. They are the accumulated light of your efforts, your struggles, your late nights of study, and your hard-earned experience. When you hand them over freely without strategy, without exchange, without protecting their value, you are essentially giving away the very tools that could break the chains of poverty and open the gates of abundance. Knowledge is power, but only when it is guarded and shared wisely. The truly prosperous understand this ancient principle deeply. They do not pour out their expertise like water from a broken jug for anyone who asks. They recognize that every piece of specialized understanding they possess is a seed capable of growing into financial freedom, influence, and legacy. Yet so many good souls remain stuck in scarcity because they became the free teacher, the unpaid consultant, the endless explainer who gives away their hard-won knowledge to others, who then use it to build their own success while the giver stays behind, still struggling. I have witnessed this tragedy too many times. A skilled craftsman teaches his techniques to everyone who flatters him, only to watch former students open competing businesses and thrive while he barely survives. A talented marketer shares all his strategies in casual conversations or free sessions, and suddenly others are launching campaigns that generate wealth he never sees. A spiritual seeker who has studied sacred texts for years offers his deepest insights without boundaries, and those who receive them move forward while he remains in the same place, wondering why blessings bypass him. This is not generosity. This is self-sabotage disguised as kindness. It keeps the giver poor while others profit from his light. The rich and abundant treat their knowledge like a valuable treasure stored in the innermost chamber of the temple. They share selectively, strategically, and usually in ways that create mutual benefit or clear return. They package it, they teach it through paid programs, they apply it to build their own enterprises, or they exchange it only when it advances their higher purpose. They understand that giving knowledge away indiscriminately dilutes its power in their own life. It trains the world to expect it for free, and once that expectation is set, it becomes nearly impossible to reclaim its worth. Your knowledge is your unique edge in the world. It is the result of your personal journey, your failures turned into lessons, your victories turned into wisdom. When you scatter it without discernment, you are telling the universe that your growth has no value, that your light is cheap and disposable. And the universe tends to reflect that belief back to you through continued lack. The person who stays poor forever is often the one who becomes everyone's free encyclopedia, everyone's open source solution, while never investing that same knowledge into building something that belongs fully to them and their family. Guard your knowledge with the same reverence you would show a precious scroll of Torah. Do not cast your pearls before those who will trample them or use them against your own progress. Learn to discern when sharing serves a greater good and when it simply drains your advantage. Create structures around your expertise, whether through fair compensation, joint ventures, or intentional boundaries, so that your light multiplies for you rather than being freely harvested by others. When you begin to value your knowledge, the world begins to value it too. Opportunities that once ignored you start appearing because you now carry yourself as someone who holds something rare and powerful. Never give away your knowledge carelessly. It is one of the greatest keys to breaking free from generational scarcity and stepping into the flow of true abundance. Never give away your focus. Focus is the quiet, unbreakable force that separates those who merely dream from those who actually build empires of abundance. It is the directed beam of your mind and spirit, the laser-like attention that turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. When you scatter it carelessly across every distraction, every opinion, every shiny new idea, or every demand that pulls you in different directions, you are handing over the very engine that drives wealth, clarity, and destiny. Distraction is the silent thief that robs more people of prosperity than laziness ever could. Your focus is sacred energy in motion. The Creator gave you a mind capable of deep concentration so you could create, solve, and manifest the blessings meant for your life. The wealthy guard their focus with almost military discipline. They do not allow every notification, every conversation, every trending topic, or every request for their attention to fragment their power. They understand that a scattered mind produces scattered results. A mind pulled in 20 directions cannot build anything solid. It cannot spot hidden opportunities. It cannot persist through the long, quiet work that compounds into real wealth. I have seen talented, intelligent souls remain trapped in cycles of struggle because they gave their focus away freely. They chase every new business idea that someone mentions. They scroll endlessly through other people's lives, comparing and doubting. They engage in every online debate, every neighborhood gossip, every minor crisis that does not belong to them. Their attention becomes like a river with 1,000 tiny leaks, flowing everywhere but never deep enough to nourish their own dreams. Years pass, and they wonder why success always seems just out of reach, why money flows to those who seem less gifted but more disciplined with their attention. The person who stays poor forever is often the one whose focus is owned by everyone except themselves. They live in reaction mode, reacting to messages, reacting to trends, reacting to the noise of the world, never carving out protected time to think deeply, plan strategically, or execute with excellence. True abundance requires sustained, unbroken focus on what truly matters. Mastering your craft, building your vision, deepening your connection with the divine source of provision. Without it, even the greatest knowledge and energy become wasted potential. The wise treat focus as a holy resource. They create boundaries around their attention the way ancient priests protected the inner sanctuary. They say no to constant interruptions. They design their days with intentional blocks of deep work. They limit exposure to things that fragment the mind. Endless social media, unnecessary meetings, toxic conversations. They understand that every time they allow their focus to drift toward what does not serve their higher purpose, they are delaying the arrival of the very blessings they pray for. Focus compounds. 1 hour of pure, undistracted effort can achieve more than 10 hours of divided attention. When you protect your focus fiercely, your life gains momentum. Ideas become clearer. Actions become more powerful. Opportunities appear because you are actually present enough to recognize them. You stop leaking mental energy and start channeling it like a river toward a single powerful goal. The scattered soul remains in poverty because their power is diluted. The focused soul breaks through because their entire being is aligned behind one direction. Guard your focus as you would guard the flame of a single candle in a dark room. Do not let every wind of distraction blow it out. Train your mind to return again and again to what matters most. Remove the thieves of attention from your environment. When you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your power to shape your future. The cycle of distraction and lack begins to dissolve, replaced by clarity, progress, and the steady flow of abundance that comes to those who refuse to let their attention wander. Never give away your focus. It is the hidden key that unlocks everything else. My dear friends, today you have heard the Rabbi's solemn warning. Never give away your time, your energy, your knowledge, or your focus. Guard these 4 sacred treasures with your life, and you will break the chains of poverty forever. The Almighty has already placed the seeds of abundance inside you. Now it is your duty to protect them. If you are truly ready to rise, to live in divine prosperity, and to honor the life you were given, then make this decision today. Protect what is holy within you. If this message touched your soul, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the ancient wisdom that can change your destiny. Comment below with "I will guard them" if you accept this warning and commit to protecting your time, energy, knowledge, and focus. May the Creator bless you with wisdom, strength, and overflowing abundance. Shalom.